Greetings, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to Akihabara. This is where a lot of people come here, especially tourists, to get their otaku on. Whether you're a manga, anime, subculture fan, Akihabara is where it's at. And I'm going to give you a live update from March 5th, 2020. There's the Sobu line going by right now. We're going to ask ourselves the question, why would you still travel to Japan despite the travel warnings? Despite all the risks? I'm going to go over some of the latest news. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're going to want to click the subscribe button and not miss these updates. There goes the Sobu line on the other side of the river over there. I got a lot of fond memories here, and I can see that the streets already are really quieter. Foot traffic is way down. Now, I'm going to give you some of the updates before we move into walking around. I want to show you the area, give you a feeling of what it's like in Japan right now. That's why I do these updates. I'm not going to touch my face. I'm going to be wearing a mask in a minute, but first, let's go over some of this. I'm sort of separated from the station, from the crowded area. I'm not sure if it's crowded at all. Now, there's been a lot of developments over the last couple of days, over the last 3 days, and I'll be doing more and more updates because this is something that's really affecting the viewers of this channel. Whether or not you should come to Japan, the cherry blossoms are coming, a lot of things are changing. This coming in straight from the JNTO March 3rd, 2020 update. Now, JNTO is the Japanese National Tourist Organization. The WHO has 268 people positive in Japan. Population is 126.8 million, so the low number means the risk of transmission is low. And that's a fact. It's just, on the flip side of that, we really don't know how many people are infected. It takes 2 weeks, yada, yada, yada. You all know the information. That number doesn't include the cruise ship, which was 706 cases that's not quarantined. The State Department, the US State Department, has this as a level 2, which means just be cautious. It's not the same as Korea, Italy, and China, I believe, on the list are at level 4, which is do not travel, like a strong one. Flights. This is good news for a lot of travelers. I told you to hold out. I told you to ask for it. And as a result, all the major carriers from Japan, ANA and JAL, have now offered refunds to flights. This is reported by NHK. The two biggest airlines will offer refunds for tickets because of the fear that's going on from this. They are international and domestic flights, both of them, through March 19th. Now, if you're flying after March 19th, hang in there. I think Prime Minister is going to give another announcement around the 10th of this month, so that's going to lead to more scrutiny into this. But if your flight leaves or is around March 19th, give the airline a call. There might be a potential to get your money back if you canceled with penalty, or if you're worried about it, that now might be the time to do it. And we're going to go over whether or not this is the proper time for you to be coming or not to Japan. I really want to go over this, and the idea of showing you around, and stay tuned to the end of it, because I'll be taking some of your questions and meeting somebody who's traveling here in Japan despite all the warnings. I want to get a different point of view. The Olympics, a lot of people are worried about travel coming into the summer. I cannot tell you what it's going to be like next week, let alone April, May, and this summer. But right now, just about 3 hours ago, the IOC, International Olympic Committee President, Thomas Bach, reported that going forward, the Olympic Games are going forward as planned. There's no deadline, there's no cancellations, and in my opinion, it depends on when this situation peaks and whenever we turn the corner. If we turn the corner, these are things we'll take into consideration. If you're planning to come in this summer, I would say don't cancel. Let's see how it goes. I know the fear is real for a lot of people, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's no cancellation of the summer games, and we will see how this goes over time. It's way too early. In like 3 months in advance is like an eternity in something like this. All right, I went over flights with you. This is because you guys asked for it. Now, flights to China, they'll accept cancellations till April 20th. That's a different situation. So if you have flights going through there or to there, you could probably get your money back with that. And this might be extended, the travel deadline. Just wait until March 10th. More announcements will be coming. Why did they do this? Because you asked for it, and also because Also because the government officially canceled a lot of events and told people not to come, sort of, right? So it makes sense that they would cancel the, they would allow refunds for the flights. There's just no reason coming. And you all know, if you want to go onto the JNTO site, and they're going to break down for you all the places that are closed. If you come here, there's not going to be a lot of stuff that's open. And I'm going to show you around Akihabara. You're going to get an idea of some of the concerns that there is in Japan right now, and some of the reasons why maybe you shouldn't come, and maybe you should come. We're going to talk to somebody in about 5 minutes who's here and is going to give us his thoughts on visiting Japan. So we get another point of view. That's good. There goes the Soba line once again. Akihabara is just so cool and so vibrant, isn't it? Hey, Shortcut C, keep up the great work. Thanks for the munchies. And Hotaru Hino, thanks for the updates. You're very welcome. I'll go back and look through everybody else that's supporting. If you want to, I do updates on Patreon, so you can get updated. And I'm going to be going to Instagram more with live updates. Brendan's here. How you doing, Winnie? Thanks a lot, Winnie. Much appreciated, guys. Yeah, as you know, these videos often do not stay monetized. It's just part of the nature of it. YouTube treats this as a sensitive event. So let's go over this here. The laws changed yesterday in Japan. This is kind of a big deal and something that you should be aware of. The Prime Minister says that, well, he's working now with the other opposition party. This is news here in Japan that he wants to be able to call a state of emergency. That's something that the Prime Minister does not have a power like in the United States, I believe. He's working through that, and I believe the law was passed that allows him to do that. The reason why this is important is that he can act faster without getting approval to try to reduce risk and save people, keep people safer. It's a smart thing to do, and so the Prime Minister will have the state of emergency power, so to speak. That's something that came through just yesterday. Wow, there's so much stuff that changed over the last 72 hours. And I want to go over here and meet with somebody who, before he leaves too. It's underneath the Soba line. How's everybody doing? All right, let's cross the street here. I think we're gonna miss the light. That's just as well. Now, on social media, Japanese young people are getting hammered right now because they have to stay home from school. Okay, this is like cause and effect. Around April 29th, February 29th, the Prime Minister heavily suggested that schools close. People follow the opinion of the leaders here very strongly. He won't order it to, but the schools closed, most of them. So school mothers panicked. They went to the supermarkets. They bought a lot of food for the 36 hours. There wasn't a lot of food in there, but I believe everything's been replenished, including the toilet paper. More on that in a second. So kids are home with nothing to do, and many of them are going out to game centers. They're going out into the city and karaoke boxes, and going to places that are high risk. And social media and the news programs are starting to really hammer them down. You're seeing it on TV a lot, and on Japanese news sites. Young people, stay home. Don't go out. Don't go out with your friends. This is not a time to go out, because the reason for the closures is to try to slam the brakes on this and reduce infections and try to round the corner. That's the reason why Tokyo Disneyland, Universal Studios, and a lot of places are closed. And I'll go over some of those places really soon. The toilet paper. I want to get through this news because I know not everybody's going to be watching till the end, the walk around. And I will take your questions. Toilet paper, there was a run on here. A lot of YouTubers went over this. The reason why is they found the culprit. NHK reports that a clinic, I'm laughing because it's funny, people take it so literal. A clinic in Totori in Yonago City that I know very well, I love that city. They reported that there will be toilet paper shortages due to things going on in China, and you should get the toilet paper. It went on social media, and then everybody started picking up that story, and it went crazy viral here in Japan. 24 hours later, all the toilet paper was gone. It's still sort of gone, but I've seen them coming back into the stores now. So if you need toilet paper, you'll get it soon. we had some people say, well, why does Japan need toilet paper at all? They have the washlet toilets, right, with the water sprays. The fact is that just even with that, you still need a little bit of toilet paper. It's wet down there. So the toilet paper is necessary. Tissues are necessary. 99% of all the toilet paper in Japan is made in Japan. So there was no reason for the panic. And the clinic apologized and said that the staff member will be highly disciplined. I don't know what that means. It's probably better that they don't explain it, but highly disciplined is highly disciplined. And that's the times that we're living in right now. All right, I'm looking for our guest today. Hopefully he's still around. I'm underneath the Soba line. All right, here we go. Cherry blossoms. A lot of people are worried about the cherry blossoms. Yeah, there was an announcement today, and there's more people on the news talking about this. You cannot stop nature. It's going to go on no matter what, okay? So the blossoms will bloom, but they're discouraging people. The prime minister and the mayor of Tokyo cannot say, slam a hammer down and say, don't come. And by the way, there's people out here. This is in front of Akihabara Station, but it's way, way down. Typically, there are way more people, right? Usually the streets are so crowded. Across the street, it's like 10 people deep. Right now, it's 1 people deep. So the cherry blossoms, they're discouraging vendors from selling drinks and food. A lot of the cherry blossom events in Tokyo have canceled the lighting, the illuminations, and this is sort of going to be the trend, I believe. They're asking everybody wear masks at the event. When we went to the Sapporo Snow Festival, they were asking people to wear masks at the Snow Festival to make sure you did that too, so transmission would go down. And we're going to be seeing that the cherry blossoms. And if you cough or sneeze, to cover up or wear a mask. That's why they want to really do everything that they can to reduce this. And I think it's a good thing to do. Cherry blossoms are scheduled to bloom on March 15th. There he is over there. On the other side. All right, we're gonna go say hi. I think we're just about done with the news. Cherry blossoms are slated to bloom on March 15th, and they'll be full bloom on the 23rd. And yeah, that's not too far away. So the Japanese government is dealing with this now, trying to clamp this down, get rules out there, get people ready, because everything is going to be changing. The Meguro River, a very popular place that's beautiful, also has reported that they don't want any vendors. They're not saying no, but they're discouraging it and asking people to wear masks. Starbucks, no more tumbler mugs, paper cups only. No more milk centers and honey and all that stuff. All taken away. You got to ask for it. It's to reduce potential transmission. Conveyor belt sushi, you got to order it. You can't take it off the belt. The free-range sushi that flows around the shops is gone. These are like no-brainers, things that businesses are starting to do. There was a question about onsen baths that I want to address. You got the mascot? I got to get my mascot. Hold on. Safety first.
Yeah, this is for Kanai.
Oh, this is for Kanai?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking to John, so.
All right. Oh, yeah, how you doing? Are you afraid of the coronavirus?
No. Your videos help to measure the situation extremely.
Okay.
It was extremely helpful.
Where are you traveling from?
Austria.
Austria. Oh, very cool. So he said it was, if you can't hear, the videos were helpful in assessing the situation. So have you traveled around Japan?
Yeah. We will leave Saturday to Kyoto.
Okay.
And then Osaka.
All right. Tomorrow, Saturday to Kyoto, and then Osaka. And I think, when do you go back?
15th.
15th?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not worried about flights being canceled or anything like that?
Till now, not. We are registered by our ministerial.
Oh, you're registered with your government
yeah.
who'll
Yeah.
contact you.
If it will close, they contact us.
Yeah.
So till now we don't worry about that.
Okay.
And, yeah,
So the Austria government will contact him if there's problems or closes, delays, so you can get quickly to the airport and evacuate back to Austria, which is safe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Till now, we hope so.
Yeah. Thanks for saying hi. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a safe trip. Be safe.
Hello, John.
Hello, welcome.
Oh
Thanks, you
my
got the
God.
mask on. I have alcohol and mask. I think I'll be okay. Thanks for wearing a mask.
Yeah, this is just for, your protection.
For my protection?
I've been around everywhere, so this is. The U.S. actually said stop buying masks. They're for.
Oh right. Here,
Yeah.
I got a microphone. Here, let me give this to you. It's kind of loud, isn't it? That's Akihabara. You can just clip that here. I have masks that I'm supposed to wear, but I'm trying my best to stay away from people. I'm trying my best to stay away, but it's okay. I think we're gonna be okay. All right.
All right.
I think we'll keep it here. You just got to speak a little loudly.
All right, yeah. So my government said the masks do nothing as far as to
Surgeon
protect
General.
yourself. So it's if you're sick, and then not to buy them because the surgeons and the medical professionals.
Yeah. Hold on a second. They can't hear us. Nice jacket.
Yeah.
I think this is the same jacket.
Yeah, representing the
Different
North. Yeah.
Can you guys hear us now? All right, so tell us if you want to, what's your name or where you from so people get an idea.
I'm Matthew. I'm from Seattle, Washington. I've always wanted to come to Japan. This is my first stamp on my passport besides Canada, and it's absolutely been great. Despite the situation, it's just been, everyone's been awesome. The food is awesome. The people are awesome. I went to the Tokyo Skytree a day before it closed to tourists.
Oh, is it closed now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went the very last day. It was one of the last tourist spots to be open on my trip, and I'm so glad I went.
Yeah. I'm reading the comments. I'm just going to put it on Matthew, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, have you been nervous anytime have you been nervous anytime you've been here in Japan?
Well, getting off at the Narita airport, they divided people into two sections. It was from Wuhan, China, and South Korea. They had one line, and all other places they had another line.
Right.
And the line for those was like, full dressed up suits and full masks and everything, and really
The
serious.
airport screening was very, very
Yeah,
tough for
yeah.
China.
Yeah, coming from China. So, well, I understand that's serious and safe, but yeah. But it was the only time where I was like, oh, this is concerning to me.
All right, just saying the mic's a little bit loud. Sorry, guys.
Oh, sorry. I'm glad I'm a loud American.
No, it's not you. It's the mic. It's because it's windy. I have to use this in here, so it's hard to. I hope maybe this works out a little bit better. When do you go back to the U.S.?
Oh, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
You nervous about the flight or anything?
No. Honestly, I saw like you could reschedule longer. But I got to get back home to my dog and my family and friends. But yeah.
What has been the highlight of your trip besides wearing a mask around town?
Well, no, this is just for you. I did this the first.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I did this the first few days, and then I abandoned it because I don't know. I'm like you. Go around, just don't. Close contact with people besides restaurants.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There isn't a lot of people reported to have caught it here, so it doesn't. I don't think transmission is high.
Yeah.
The chance is high, but that doesn't mean that we should stop taking precautions.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I think people are starting to understand because in my home state of Washington, there's like 9 travel-related deaths already. So it's not like, oh, you shouldn't travel to this place, you're being irresponsible for traveling to this place. It's more like, oh, this is something everyone has to deal with internationally. So, yeah, it's just hard all around.
So the Skytree's closed. What was the hotel like? Are there any precautions at the hotel?
They just have the normal, you know, the bottle, the hand
Alcohol, yeah.
the alcohol hand sanitizer.
Yeah, nothing to worry about. And the trains are open, I think.
Well, I'm a big walker. I walked here all the
Yeah,
way.
I know you got all the gifts to take home, right? These are all the
Yeah,
travel gifts.
yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, I walked here this morning. I walked here from Asakusa in Asakusa.
Yeah, I never say it right. Everybody gets upset. For foreign tourists, it's Asakusa, so I pronounce it the way it's announced. Asakusa. You know, there's people are very strict about it. But that's good to hear. So, what do you think? If people are wondering, should they come to Japan? Should they come to Japan?
I think it depends on what your goals are. Like, if you were here for museums and tourist attractions and stuff that's going to be closed, of course you should close or not travel because they're not going to be open.
Right.
And you should wait to reschedule. But if you're just here to, you know, see if you can get around. This is my first international trip. I'm just basically seeing if I can get around.
Okay.
You know,
Welcome
with
to
Wi-Fi.
Japan.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, John.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if food and just wandering around and, you know, just seeing the sights is your goal, then absolutely, why not?
Yeah, I think the sites aren't going to be very crowded right now. I think it's kind of a neat time to be here, but the reason why nobody's really going out is they want to slam the brakes on it so that we can round the corner and then there's no worry for the summer.
Yeah.
The big worry is about the summer. That's why they're kind of discouraging. Maybe don't come right now and wait a month or something.
Yeah.
Wait until we round the corner.
Yeah, I'm so hoping the Olympics aren't postponed or delayed.
Yeah.
It's so important. Like, talking to some shop owners, they were like really proud about the Japanese runner marathon results and just, yeah, even if it is delayed, I hope it'll still happen and not be, you know, not canceled. But just hope for the best all around.
So I have alcohol. I carry this with me. I also have soap in my bag. I have it out too. This is alcohol, pure alcohol. It's like sanitizer.
Yeah, 70%.
Everybody's carrying this stuff around. Tissues as well, masks. I have a whole pharmaceutical kit in my bag here. Are there any tips, anything that you saw other travelers were doing to protect themselves? Or it's hard to compare since this is your first trip, but anything different than you saw in the U.S.?
I think mainly just the masks are so prevalent here, and I have our government saying masks won't protect you. So it's kind of an odd dichotomy.
Unusual.
Yeah.
All right, doctors wear masks when they go in this situation.
Yeah,
right?
and then they're
why.
saying the doctors were taking away by buying them, so the doctors can't have them.
Follow your own feeling, I think, on this. If worn properly, masks will reduce infection when you're infectious and not showing symptoms as well. And if everybody wears and has this wall, then the chance is reduced even further. So I'm not gonna go Surgeon General, but I think he's saying it for different reasons than I think his rationale is a little bit different than mine.
Absolutely.
But if you don't wear it correctly, or if you're touching the front of the mask, the whole purpose of having it is it doesn't make a difference. But if worn properly, it has a big impact on reducing transmissions, obviously. That's how I feel. But most people in Japan are wearing it because of hay fever. Hay fever is the reason why they have it, not so much for this. And people who don't have it, maybe they just can't get the masks too, right? They just can't get it. So you gotta take off. You want some alcohol?
Oh,
Here you go. All right. We would just.
All right. Thank you, John.
Yeah, stay safe. What did you get as a gift?
Still not finished shopping yet. I still have about 30,000 to spend.
That's a lot.
I got this giant thing for 45,000. Is that a deal?
45,000 or 4,500?
4,500.
But $45 then, yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty good. That's
Okay.
Pretty good. It's a pretty big suitcase there. Yeah. Oh, one of these.
Thank you so much, John.
Actually forgot to give it to our friends from Austria that came. If you want to come and find me, I'll give you a card too. Yeah, there you go. Thanks so much. Let me get the mic here.
All
So
right.
you guys are touching the mic. Stay safe. It's nice to get a chance to meet you.
You too, John.
Yeah, you're on the Discord server?
I am.
Right, so
Matthew
Matthew
L.
L.
Thank
on
Thank
Discord.
you so much for everyone on the Discord that helped me with my travel and tips and tricks and everything to get around. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, Discord server is a place where we're exchanging information, and if you're here in Japan or you're thinking about coming, if you want to continue the conversation, that's where everyone is going. Discord. There's a link by our moderator right there. Just put it. Stay safe, okay?
Thanks, John.
Everyone's doing the elbow bump here.
Yeah, there we go.
Boom. All right.
Space high five.
Space high five. Take care. Be safe. All right. So it's good to get another opinion from a traveler that's been going around. I'm going to take you around Akihabara now. I should. Hey. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. We're doing bumps now. Yeah, bumps.
Sure.
Just to keep a distance. Have you been worried about the coronavirus?
Not too worried. We're using hand sanitizer.
Oh, you got here you go. You got the hand sanitizer.
Yep.
Yep, we're using hand sanitizer a lot.
We can't buy masks where we're from, so we were planning on getting some here. Obviously, that has
didn't
not
work.
worked.
It's hard.
Yeah.
How long have you been here?
2 weeks now.
All right, 2 weeks.
Yep.
And do you find it really hard to get around? What's it like out there?
It's been easy to get around. Transport's not hard, except
Yep.
for not going during busy times, trying to plan to travel before after. It's
Yeah.
been more difficult because we landed in Japan, and then after landing, got news of everything shutting down Tokyo.
Yeah.
But ANA, it was going to cost a lot to change our flight, so we just chose to continue.
Now it's free cancellations.
Yeah.
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 So we just are finishing out the few days and then gonna go home. But
Yeah. So
So.
you got a couple more days.
Yeah.
yep,
Where's home?
Alaska.
Alaska.
Whoa! How cool!
Yeah.
Literally, how cool! It's really cold up there.
It is cold and snowy there right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So this is
What's been
kinda
the
nice.
highlight of your trip besides this event?
Matsumoto Castle, I think actually.
I love Matsumoto Castle. Yeah.
We had a tour guide, a retired tour guide, just walk by us at night, and he was like, "Oh, can I tell you about the castle?" And so we got like a whole free,
Yeah.
tour of the outside of the
Castle,
castle.
just
So that was super cool.
Omotenashi. It doesn't stop just because of this, and he probably had nothing else to do with
Yeah.
all the cancellations, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what are you up to these days? You can't really. A lot of things are closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were gonna go to Ghibli Museum and Disney Sea and Disney, but those all shut down. So
And a couple other things.
we're
Mainly
kinda
just
taking it slow.
Do you think people should still visit based on your experience?
if they're going to places outside of Tokyo, yes. Like we've had no issues with any areas outside Tokyo. It's all still been fantastic. And from what we watched before coming and then coming, they're also very slow tourism-wise.
Yeah.
However, if you're coming to Tokyo or you're planning on being in a lot of major cities and utilizing the public transportation, and from what I've seen, mainly if you're going also to Hokkaido, maybe not.
Yeah, Hokkaido's a really tough situation right now. I say look at Wikipedia, believe it or not. Wikipedia has a pretty good update of the counts. I've been confirming it, the information on it, and they've been spot on. So the interactive map of where the breakout pockets are, it's pretty good to see that if you're thinking about coming. But you think outside of the countryside is okay right now?
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
been great.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed. We went to Kinosaki Onsen, Koyasen, more
Right.
of the mountainous areas, and that was fabulous.
I'm going to tell you about the onsen. I got some news. I called the JNTO hotline out of curiosity, the English hotline. I put the number in the description there, and they told me that they had no guidelines on public baths and onsens, but just be careful of the community areas when you change and go into the bath, for anyone who's wondering. Inside the bath itself, just keep distance from people. Maybe go at times where people aren't there, less peak times, or what's the opposite of peak times? Non-peak times, yeah. Go at non-peak times and you'll be fine, yeah. Good. All right, well, you get one of these cards.
Thank you.
I get two here. Here you are. You're welcome. Stay safe out there.
You too.
Thanks for saying hi.
Yeah, it's great to meet you.
Do you want to take a picture?
Sure.
Like I want to ask because it's like weird because we have the self-quarantine stuff.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We'll take a, yeah, I'll be back here.
Okay.
All right, be
Thank
safe.
you. See you.
Yeah. All right, that's nice. So I'm gonna walk across here and show you some of the area around here, give you an idea of what it's like here. The best way to show you if it's safe, maybe, is to show you the feeling of the people, what it's like in this area. I'm gonna turn the camera around. And while I do that, you can just absorb it. And I'm gonna go over some of the other news that's remaining. And I'll take some of your questions now that I can see the screen. It's really nice to be able to talk with other travelers and get an idea of what it's like out there. Kanai and I have been staying inside. I've been riding my bicycle trying to avoid people. It's hard to do here. But once again, the actual published number of people with this is so low, transmission is so low. Some people are taking this as, I don't know, not serious enough, and some people are taking it too serious. I think it's to understand the risks and also know that if this doesn't get, like, slam the brakes on this now, it's in a place like Japan that's so crowded, it can really get out of control fast. And we're seeing that in areas all around the world. If you're, all right, this is my opinion, but I'm gonna tell you something that comes from here and not from this. It's sort of fact, all right. The fear is not that you're going to, the fear is not the mortality rate or that you're going to get sick and you probably will recover. The fear is that this is so contagious and so all over the place that you're going to catch, that the hospitals are going to be overrun, where other services, other things, if you need it, if you're having a baby, or if you're having, like, there's just not going to be any space for anything. There's not enough doctors. There's not enough space. There's not enough places to contain this if you do go for medical treatment. And we're finding this more and more. We're unprepared, and that's the fear. It's not that you're going to, like, it's that if you do get it, about 10, 15, 20 people could get it from you, and that's how it spreads. Japanese news has been all over this. There's a live house or music house in Osaka. This is fact. People from all over the country had gone to these live music houses in Osaka to listen to the bands. They came in, they listened to it, they didn't wear masks, they touched the tables, everything, drinking. This was in February. Then they took it back to their hometowns, and they could track back from that night or those series of nights all the way back to their hometowns, and then who these patches, concentrations, where it went from. And Japanese news this morning was able to do that, tracking back the Osaka Live House. I think if you Google it, you'll be able to find it. It's very, very interesting to see how, and one spot, one person or two people can create such a net. And it's amazing that Japan has been so contained so far. They're doing a really good job of taking this serious, and when the government says stay home, people are sort of staying home. Sort of. That's Akihabara right now. Don't touch your face, use alcohol, wear masks. Let's go back over the news. There's a couple of other things, and I'm gonna look at some of the questions. I really appreciate the feedback from everybody over the last couple of weeks. I've been covering this on the live streams since January. Nasha Broad writes in, it looks pretty busy. Yeah, it does. All right, But on a typical weekday, this place is crazy busy. Like you can't even see the street. I'm gonna turn it around here. This is where all the maid cafes back here are. It's just typically people at this time of day. I don't see it being as crowded. There's a maid in the center. I don't even see a lot of maids on the street. Usually there's full with the ninja maids as well. I don't even see them on the streets. And they're not wearing masks either, the ninja maids. Ninja maids should have masks. They're ninja maids. Maid cafes have more and more become just a touristy thing, by the way. The boom of maid cafes kind of peaked. All right, so I've gone over most of the news. Young people in Japan, stay home. You may not have school, but that doesn't mean that you can go around running wild. List of places that are closed. Should you come to Japan? I don't know, it depends on the kind of traveler you are. If you're traveling with a family member, if you're traveling with kids, traveling with people with weak immune systems or recovering from an illness, do not travel at all, anywhere. Not just Japan, just stay home. If you got kids, they're gonna touch stuff. Don't travel with kids, stay home. Free cancellations on JAL and ANA. If you're visiting us, if you're watching this right now, if you're joining in, I'm in Akihabara. This is Only Japan Go. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll be doing these updates like 2 to 3 times a week, every couple of days, every few days, or if something big is announced, I want to be able to announce that to you and let you know. I'm in Akihabara trying to avoid the trafficked areas, but we walked around a little bit and you can get an idea of what the vibe is like here. People are, well, there aren't as many people. One of the news that was worrying to me was, and we're starting, India has invalidated Japanese visas to visit. So, like, if you're going to visit, if you're Japanese and going to visit India, they've sort of taken the visa away. So if you're already in India and you're Japanese, you're okay. But Kanai can't go and visit my aunt Rashma to eat her cooking for a while. So it was kind of a disappointing thing when we saw that. I think that's going to start more and more. India is a very crowded place where this kind of thing can spread pretty quickly. So I don't think it's just limited to Japanese, but it was sort of, we saw it in the news, hearts broke. We're like, oh, we can't go to India now because we had plans to go. But hopefully this thing around the corner. All right, I got a list of the places closed. It comes from JNTO's site, dated pretty regularly now. Tokyo Disney closed February 29th, 15th. Universal Studios Japan in Osaka closed from February 29th to March 15th. The Olympic Museum is closed from February 27th to March 16th. Protoland, Sanrio Protoland, Hello Kitty in Tokyo is closed until March 12th. That could change. Harmony Land is closed from February 27th to March 12th. Team Lab Planet and Team Lab Borderless in Tokyo is closed from February 29th to March 15th. Hiroshima Peace Memorial is closed from February 29th to March 15th. Shinjuku Metropolitan Government Building Observatory, beautiful view from up there, closed until March 16th. National Museums in Tokyo, Nara, Kyoto, Fukuoka closed until March 15th. Tokyo National Museum of Nature and Science is closed until March 15th. The Edo Museum is closed. Tokyo National Arts Center is closed. Osaka Castle is closed till March 15th. The Chichu Art Museum in Naoshima is closed. And the Shiroi Koibito theme park in Sapporo is closed. There's a lot of things up in Hokkaido that are closed until March 15th. There's even more. What do you guys think? Do you think you still want to come to Japan knowing all that we've just discussed? Get a chance to meet with some of the people who have it? Not who have, so some of the people who have been able to travel around Japan, seen Japan. What do you think? Everything's closed. Skytree is closed just recently. There'll be an announcement. In a heartbeat, writes in Norm. I think there's a lot of people out there. I think if you take precautions, last time we went, I talked about. Last time I talked about the. So I want to put the tripod on here and wash my hands. Last time I talked about the airlines. They said they have filter systems on the ANA flights that filter the air, removing like 99.7% of the stuff. HEPA. By the way, this is the vending machine, the sandwich vending machine. Mike and I were here to film something for his channel. They still got a pretty good selection. I might get a sandwich. Getting kind of hungry. What do you guys think? All right, I can put you down here. So the air purifiers on the planes, they want people to kind of relax and understand that hold on a second. So this is 100% alcohol. All right, we're good. Got to be safe. So if you're worried about your flight, the chances are that you probably will be okay. Right now, flights are kind of empty. Here's another thing. So the possibility of having a row to yourself is pretty good. All right. I've had reports of people that were flying and said that they were able to sit in their own section by themselves and actually sleep a lot. They had their masks on. They brought their own food with them on the flight, and it wasn't much of a problem. That's a Chuo line going by. I don't see the advantages to the N95 masks. I saw that coming in here. They're really hard to breathe in, and regular masks are fine if worn properly. One thing is if you do have a beard, you might want to shave it off so there's a better seal on there. But I don't think that if you're washing your hands and not touching your face and you're staying away from people, like I'm trying to do, you're probably going to be okay. But there's no 100% guarantee except staying in your apartment. And even then, you could have a family member who brings it back to you, right? Don't get sick from the air. You mainly get sick from touching stuff. That is according to the WHO, and CDC has written that. So, yeah, if you are in close quarters to somebody with it, then you can. It's through the particles, but I don't want to get into much about that. I just want to talk about specifically travel in Japan. This is what the Discord server is for. And I'm going to be trying to answering questions on the Instagram here. I brought this today. I brought this a couple of times, but if you go on Instagram, there's a stories feature. They also have it here on YouTube, and I'm going to go into Instagram stories and try to answer questions in the stories that you might have only in Japan TV. If you don't use Instagram, you're not on Instagram. Instagram's pretty useful because you can check on the location tags what a location looks like right now, because people are sending stuff to Instagram all the time. For me, I check Instagram all the time because I get to look and see what the attractions are like in Kyoto right now. I go to Instagram and I can see the pictures of what people are uploading from Kinkakuji or Kiyomizu-dera or Heian Jingu, one of the sites that's really popular. Right now, the sites in Kyoto are pretty light in tourists, which is a good thing. You can keep your space and keep your distance from everybody. Someone wrote in, what's Instagram? Really? Really? There's going to be an announcement from the Prime Minister on March 10th, I believe, where he's going to talk about whether this is extended or if we've rounded the corner, or the general mood of the country, or what else we can do in Japan to try to reduce the infections. I've given you a chance to see yesterday in Tsukiji. It was pretty closed at 3 p.m., but it's usually like that. But in terms of the amount of foot traffic walking around the city of Tokyo, it's a lot less. I myself am taking my bicycle just about everywhere. I've been riding my bike everywhere, avoiding public transportation, not touching anything. And is the risk real? Right, it's not as bad as other places, but number one, this is the city, so it's real here. And number two, I think it's about setting habits. You have to get in a habit with these kinds of situations of doing things the right way, because all it takes is one time where you touch your face and you go, oh, it's over. Yesterday on a TV interview, there was a Japanese And I gotta be honest with you, I'd say about 90% of Japanese, maybe more, do not know how to wear the masks properly. They touch the front of the mask. I went into a Docomo shop to talk about extending the data plan for live streams. And while I'm there, he kept on touching the front of his mask. And then he handed me the booklet, and I told him, I said, do you realize that you just contaminated your hand? If you're wearing this for this purpose, you've just contaminated it. Do you realize that? And he goes, oh, sumimasen. He didn't have a response. He was just a part-time worker. But on TV, they interviewed a shopkeeper live, and he touched the front of his mask. And they'd just been discussing that on the TV and said, you just touched the front of your mask. You have to decontaminate your hands. And he goes, oh, he didn't even realize it. He touched it on live TV. So these little things are habits that are set now when risk is lower, because we don't know what's going to happen from day to day. And we could be exaggerating or maybe taking this too far, or saying it's like, look, the scary thing here in Tokyo and for us is that the hospitals will be so full of people they cannot deal with it. So if you do have a heart attack or you do have a car accident, what are you gonna do? If there's tens of thousands of people who come down with it so quickly, medical people can't keep up with the intensive care, we're gonna lose a lot of people just because of that. And that's the fear. Has nothing to do with a low rate and all this other stuff. It's 1%, 2%. Has nothing to do with that. It's so, people are getting it quickly. That's the problem. That's the issue. That's what makes me worried the most right now. I was concerned, now I'm worried. I think that Japan's taking the right steps, though. I strongly believe that slamming the brakes, closing these attractions will have a massive economic impact on Japan. Right now, ryokan, right now, family businesses, local businesses, a lot of them are going out of business. There was a ryokan that was in the news that just closed. They tried to stay open, but they couldn't pay the workers. There are some workers that haven't been paid since December because of this. The companies are just losing a lot of money. There's not a lot of work. The Japanese government, I wouldn't say work, but there's a lot of problems with making money. The Japanese government said that if you're working in a company, they will, and if you have a family, they will give you a certain amount of money so that you can, to make up for the lack of income. Then freelancers started to be concerned. What about freelancers? They don't work at a company or corporation, so there's a big debate on this. Because the economy is getting hit with the closure, it's costing the government a lot of money. And I think that that's something that maybe other countries are really going to have to grapple with. This is something that's easier for China to do because of the way that the government is structured. It's hard for Japan. But the people here are very, very, they follow the law and what the leaders say, and that makes the system work. If you don't do it and everybody's doing their own thing, then it doesn't work because it just takes one or two people to create a bigger problem. And so far, most people, except for the young people, hey, I'm talking to you young people from Japan, just get out of the karaoke boxes, go home and read a book. You can really, become engrossed in a book, take you to another place. You wanna go to the karaoke box? Do it inside of a book, by words and stuff, talking to you. Sometimes kids need to be just looked at and talked to. Works. Give them a serious face, like a Clint Eastwood face, like with the snow was in my eyes in Sapporo last week, 2 weeks ago. Seems like yesterday. Put your foot down. That's right, Johnny Digital. I did that for the benefit of the good of the people. All right, I'll take some of your questions now. Ramsey's silent. For Kanai keeping you safe, even though she's not there personally, would go in a heartbeat. Thanks so much, Ramsey Silent. I'm gonna, on the way back, there's a place I'll stop and get her something really nice, and I'll try to send you a picture later. Thanks, mate. And Shane as well, thank you so much from Canada. Shane, much appreciated. Yeah, the support's really good. I'm gonna take you around to this intersection here. I'll leave my bike here. Raf, Free ice cream from the vending machine. Raph, that's like too good to pass up. Tony P says, thank you. I can't wait to visit Akihabara. And Castlemon, thank you so much for next time. Brendan shouted out to his friend from Seattle. Let's see, what do we got here? What's the ice cream here? Wow, there's all sorts of flavors. The cookie and cream looks really good. Oh, Nama caramel. Raw caramel. Oh, I'm so into this one. That's tiramisu. Garrett Nolan, Stressful Times calls for biru. Marty and Cobra Bebop, thanks. I guess we're getting an ice cream for a job well done today. I still got a long bike ride to get home. Akihabara's a little bit out of the way. Let's go. I guess we're going tiramisu, right? Which one do you guys think? Cookies and cream or tiramisu? I'll let the internets decide. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 likes. What do you think? Or how about this one? This is a very expensive 200 yen one. This one has nuts in it. This one's $2. This one's more expensive. What do you guys think? Let's get to 1,000 likes. I'll buy it. Come on. It's up to you, people. Tiramisu we got. I'm not getting that cone. Cookies and cream, nuts, tiramisu. Nuts, tiramisu. Nuts, tiramisu. Snickers. It's not Snickers. Tiramisu. I'm going back. We're really, this is a battle between tiramisu and nuts. There are stuff up here too. Snickers isn't there. All right, I'll go for this one because it's it's premium, and it says luxury almond with caramel, so I figured luxury. Wait, I can't touch the button. The pinky is... Can't wash... Gotta wash the pinky. How do I open this without... Gotta decontaminate now. Nuts one. That's just nuts. Decontaminate. How you doing? All right, Marty. Cheers, everybody. It's a pretty good cone. It's exactly what. Hold on, turn the camera. It's exactly what you thought it was gonna be. Nuts, luxury nuts. They said they called this a luxury cone. Follow the cone. I'm gonna take you out to the intersection. This is a really nice view of Akihabara. If you come out a little bit further, you look back at the city. If you've got a long lens, you want to go out past the Chuo line, and you have the 2 train lines. Not a lot of people know about that. Thanks, guys, for the ice cream. Oh, it's good. Andreas, there's not enough people around for me to care. If a tree falls in the woods and no one's there to see the tree fall, did it really fall at all? I don't think so. I'm looking at if you have any questions about travel, I'm looking for that, actually. That's why I'm walking out here. It is really good. It's pretty oishi. I'm looking back now at Akihabara. You can see from a long lens. If you go, take the picture, just cross the street, and then you get in the middle there. Take a picture back. It's an amazing shot of Akihabara with the city in the distance, especially at sunset when the lights come on. There are almost no tour buses. I think it's safe to report that tours are way, way down. You can get a lot of deals right now. Oh, there's a booze shop. Sake. All right, we got 5 minutes. Questions, come on. All right, should you cancel your trip? This is the advice that JNTO gave me when I called their hotline. They have a 24-hour, 7 days a week, free hotline for any traveler to call with any concerns about traveling to Japan. I asked them about the onsen bath, and they gave me a general response, which makes a lot of sense, makes you think. If you're worried or concerned, and you don't have protection, you don't have masks, and you think you're going to be touching your face, and this is going to be a problem, don't travel at all, anywhere, right now. Japan is a level 2. There's not a high risk of infection right here compared to the other neighboring countries, but we just don't know how this is going to turn and change over the next week. It's something I'm always looking at the news every day to see the numbers change and to see how this is evolving, looking at the trends, finding hot pockets of places, and seeing if this is going to be a problem, and making sure that we go to the store at the right time so we have fresh vegetables if we got to stay in for 2 or 3 weeks. These are things I'm thinking about. Whoa. So if you're asking me if you should go to Osaka or not, my answer is I don't know. If you feel comfortable, then do it. Hey, you're not even subscribed. Flying Saucer, please subscribe. I stopped taking public transportation, limiting my exposure at the supermarket. Daniel Becker. It's a pretty good idea. How are they testing for the... Jeffrey, in the last update, I announced the government of Japan published the prices of the tests. The reason why they did that was because there was some question of whether or not everyone was getting tested or not. And one of the problems was that if you weren't showing symptoms, they weren't testing because they just didn't have enough tests. But now that the capacity to do it is good enough now, and they know the prices and how much it costs, I believe that you can even request it, even if they say no, and it tells you how much it costs. It was like $150, and if you have insurance, it's like 20% of the cost of it. So it's good to know these things. NHK published this about a week ago. Yeah. Dennis, the one thing that you're missing about with influenza is that this is way, way, way more highly contagious, and this is the problem. It's going to be something that drags on the medical system. I don't want to lose the hat in the traffic here. It's going to be a real big drag compared to even an influenza season when it's high and and there's a lot of infections. It's really hard on hospitals even then. But with this, it's a totally different thing. It hits hard and it hits fast, and there's just not enough. There's not enough capacity even here in Japan, and by slamming on the brakes, it's been giving the country time to get ready as well in case something does happen. To increase this. Yeah. Yeah, so everybody has an experience. This is why we have YouTube here, which is a social network. I encourage you to leave a comment below if you had any kind of anything to say about travel in Japan and this situation. Bring it up. Share your information. We have a Discord server, and so we can do that. And I know that the mass media, the stories, that the way that they tell the stories, somebody from Spain wrote in on the Discord server, the news media is going to people that are infected and showing what they're actually going through to try and get an understanding of what this is like. Japanese media has news groups that they discuss the issues and how the society can stay safe from this. I love watching that. The Western media, the United States, it's like dramatic music and numbers and keywords and headlines and images recycled over and over from scary situations. And I think that that's the wrong way to do it. We need to develop really good habits. And if you're coming to travel to Japan specifically, Japanese society is very much, we think about the people around us. So we wash our hands, we wear masks, not just to protect ourselves, but to make sure that we're protecting the community around us. So if you're going out to the cherry blossoms, please understand that people are going to be looking at you to make sure that you have your mask on too. I can do this because I'm not in a place where there's a lot of people. But if I go into a place like a train or a crowded restaurant or like an event, I'm going to wear a mask just so that we all have the masks. If we all have it, then the chances are much, much lower. And I think that that's something that's very Japanese and very, maybe not just in Japanese, this area where you're thinking about the people around you, and that's what makes this place work. That's what makes, when the Prime Minister says we're all gonna do this, everyone all does that. No, Matthew, you can't wear multiple masks. Be considerate right now. If you want to, you can write in where you're watching from. Hey, Raph, that was the most amazing animated sticker ever. Did you see us on a rocket? Thanks, Raph. David Kumino, thanks. That's also gonna go into getting something for Kanai on the way home. I'm gonna really spoil her after this one. Oh, Hawaii. Palm Springs. Kichijoji, wow. My neighbor. Singapore. Malaysia. Philippines. Hey, Ohio, go back. And then I want to say hi to Tom, who's in quarantine in the United Kingdom. Hang in there, Tom. I'll keep on making content for you to watch from Japan, so at least when you're stuck inside the box or wherever they put you for the quarantine, that you get a chance to live outside the box out here in the live streams. Make sure you subscribe. How do I get the cone part? I don't want to touch it, but it's so good. I don't want to waste it. That's so good. I have sensitive teeth. So it makes it hard to eat ice cream. I suck on the ice cream until it melts, so it hits my teeth, it starts to hurt. I'll give you another update in the next 72 to 96 hours like I typically do. Tonight, I'm gonna upload a video about a sake brewery that I stayed at about 2 weeks ago in Nagano. So I'm gonna take you with me. We call it a struvie. It's a streamed movie. I just filmed for 90 minutes and I kind of edited it a little bit, but the first 5 minutes is more edited with some music. and some narration, and then the last like 85 minutes is basically the experience with a little bit of explanation on camera. It's a streamed movie. I came up with that yesterday on Instagram Live. If you were there, you know what I mean. Struvi with an O, Daniel. Like movie, Struvi. Strovi. Maybe Strovi would be better. Strovi, not Struvi. Strovi. Erica canceled her trip in March 27th. I'm really sad to hear that, too. So to sum up really quickly, I just want to say that I'm really happy that you're finding these updates valuable. Keep sending me your comments, your questions. Go into the Discord server and participate in our chat group on this. This is also where I'm getting ideas and sharing experiences that you write in there with everybody else, as well as getting answers from people that are living in Japan or have been to Japan, or like you just saw, people were getting updates about the condition like right now from people that are here. Like you just saw, if you go back in the playback, you just joined us. You want to check it out. We talked to about 3 or 4 people if they were worried about visiting Japan or not. I gotta make this long ride home, everybody. Marcella, I was in Japan mid-February for 2 weeks and I loved it. Thank you for all the information, John. Thank you. That's so nice. Betty C, always love the informative videos. Thanks, Betty. Yeah, I so much appreciate it. You guys know that these live streams don't always get out there because of the topic that I'm covering. I try not to even say it, so say it, don't spray it. Is that the expression? Well, that's it from, what the heck is this? Only in Akihabara. Okay, that's interesting. Is that how we leave? I guess this is what we end with, huh? This is what we end with. Why you not like? Do you feel unsafe? When I was there 8 hours ago, just wear mask and wash hands. Thanks for that. You don't feel unsafe in Japan? I don't. I live here. I'm not going anywhere. Just take precautions. Try to stay away from people. And this music is very infectious and makes me want to go like this. So if you come to Japan, take precautions. My bicycle's over there. I should be riding away, but it's hard with this music. See everybody. Love you. Big love from Japan. See you in the next live stream. And eat some vanilla. Makes me want to get another ice cream. The choices. Bye, everyone.